Hello everyone, Richard Evans here from Calibre Yacht Sales, and we do a lot of special boats, but this is a real treat that you're going to see today. This is a heritage boat. This is a trip right back into BC heritage. Behind me right now is the Nitinat Chief. It's a 72-foot originally tug that was used to haul logs out of Nitinat Lake, specially designed for that purpose only. So she's really tough. Any of you who know about the Nitinat bar, those waves get pretty steep and it gets pretty shallow in there. So this is shallow draft, about an 8-foot draft. Well, in 1995, someone was so impressed with the hull design for its strength and its relatively shallow draft for a 100-ton boat, that they stripped it right down to the deck and built the whole superstructure out of aluminum to what you see here today. You're in for a treat. Come on aboard. I'm excited to show you what this boat's all about. A little bit of our past heritage and the modern conveniences of a pleasure craft. Come on with me. Now remember what I said, this boat is huge. It's 100 tons. 72 feet long, 16-foot beam, and look how easy it is to board. A very, very big cockpit. See this? Full beam of the boat, it's 16.2. And as I've talked about before on other boats, I love boats with rigid hardtops for the Pacific Northwest, just ideal. If you wanted to, you could fully enclose this. And this would be a wonderful, wonderful space for year-round boating if you like to boat fall, winter as well. And notice how strong this boat is built. I mean, look at this grid and stringer system that supports this rigid overhang. And why is it built so tough? It's because you could put a 16-foot dinghy on the top up there with, are you ready for this? 20,000-pound hydraulic davit to lift the dinghy up there. I mean, my goodness, I've never seen a davit with that kind of power to be able to lift a dinghy. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Excuse me if I'm getting excited. Right here we've got safety rails all around, which is just ideal, makes it very safe. And have a look at this boarding ladder here. Boarding ladder is like commercial grade. I mean, you could bring divers up here if you wanted to. Right here, you've got a workspace. You do have a sink here. There's no running water to the sink. There was, but they took it out because they never used it. And this is 1-inch plate. This is a piece of 1-inch plate in here, so strong that they actually put the cleats up here, the aft cleats, to support this 100-ton boat to the dock. Isn't that amazing? Very, very strong supports all around. There's 4 of these, giving tremendous strength to that rigid hardtop. And last but not least, you've got cockpit boarding, both sides, port and starboard. So you could dock the boat on either side, whichever works best for you. So just imagine yourself in this space here, and you're underway, and you're doing a nice, comfortable 9 knots, and looking back at the vista going by you, especially up here. This is so beautiful. What a beautiful area of the world this is. Now, down here is your lazarette. The lazarette contains some of your electronics, like your trace inverter is down there. And all of your house batteries are right below this space that I'm standing on right now, that you could store lawn chairs or tables or whatever you wanted to do. And I love this oak trim. This oak is all throughout the entire boat, giving it, taking it back right to that very natural look that BC is famous for. Notice the oak in this door, and it's a Dutch door, so you could open this up and be engaged with your guests that are out here in the cockpit, and just to allow fresh air to flow through. Isn't that nice? And finally, stairs to the bridge, and we'll go up and have a look at the bridge deck a little bit later. But there's 2 ways to get there. This is one of them here from the cockpit. So come on inside, have a look what's going on in here. Wow, it's a blustery day out there, but boy, it's not blustery in here. This diesel stove is really doing the job. It's throwing a massive amount of heat. This is great, loving it. Remember what I said, fall winter boating, eh? This boat's perfect for the Pacific Northwest. Look at all this space, and I just love the way it just continues on all the way forward to the Pilothouse. But let's hang in here for a little bit and talk about what's going on. Lots of light. That's the first thing that strikes me is the oak paneling in here, or the oak furniture and cabinetry. It's beautifully lit up by all this natural light, and windows that open and quite unique. They're very solidly built. Just want to show you how this works here. Window drops down, the screens go up. You've got these on both sides of this space here, which is amazing. But I'm not going to let any of that beautiful heat in here out. I'm going to just hang in here for the rest of the day. This is a good setup, isn't it? You've got a table here. You got room for 5 to sit and have a meal, and you've got a couple more stools over there on the other side, right at the bar. So whoever's preparing the meal, you could sit there and enjoy conversation with them, or sit here. And this is I like this layout. It's very practical, and of course, the way this table is built. Notice there's a little notch in the fiddle here to scoop all your crumbs out into and throw them away. Moving aft, this corner settee here, so perfectly located to be able to sit here, put your feet up on the table, and watch TV. Nice corner setting here as well. I love this bulletin board with all the pictures of the original tug, the Nitinat Chief, prior to her conversion. And down here, that's what she used to look like. And as you saw, this is the way she looks now. Just a beautiful boat for this area. And look at this, eh? Look at so typical BC with the snow-capped mountains in the background. This is a very Pacific Northwest boat. I love this boat. Another window aft here, and a double Dutch door opening onto the cockpit. The headliner is nice. It's in very good condition. And this wainscoting here, which is really nice as well, just gives it that nautical feel. Now over here, right next to the door, wait till you see this. Here we have a wet locker. Look at the size of this. We've seen wet lockers before, but not this big. And isn't it cool that the engine is right below us, and there's a vent down here that allows the heat coming off the engine to come up into your wet locker and is vented out into a vent that goes into the cockpit. Isn't that great? I just really like this a lot. So smart. So smart. Now, just forward of that, we've got hang-ups for inside clothes, like a jacket or hats and so on. And then, of course, we've got these nice bar stools, and everything in here it's in good shape. I mean, look at this. Look at all the upholstery, eh? It's been really well looked after. I love this oak. You don't see oak a lot in boats, but there's oak everywhere in this boat, even in the headliners here with this wainscoting. So beautiful. Big counter space to do your meal preps, and having your bar stools right there. Somebody could be sitting right there. Woo! There's a heat coming off that stove. It's amazing. As you know, it's a very cold day out there. I think we took the temperature at -4, it was -4 Celsius, that is. And wow, this is I'm going to go right to the stove. I'm so impressed with this. It's a diesel-fired stove, and it's got a fan right here. The owner tells us about them being able to cook right on that stove, and there's so many multiple settings in there. What stove would there be without an oven? And it even has a full-size oven like that as well. And no special fuel that you need for it. It's tapped right off of your diesel tanks down below. This, I can't even begin to tell you the heat that's coming off this right now, and it's just heating up this entire space. Fall winter boating will be a blast, man. Once you get that anchor down and you're sitting in a cove somewhere and it's howling and blowing outside, and you're in here toasty warm, you could be sitting in here with your t-shirt on. As a matter of fact, I just might take this one off as well. All right. Yeah, it's not that kind of show. Great storage up here. All of your glasses are up here as well. And love this wood. Big counter space. And fiddles all the way around again. Double sink. And of course a vegetable washer in the faucet here. Lots of space here for appliances like toasters and coffee makers. Great storage for appliances, cutlery, and plates. Everything is just wonderfully laid out. Hood blower over your stove. And more storage down below here. Oh, look at this, eh? There's plenty of storage in this kitchen. So a bank of 4 drawers here. And garbage and cleaning supplies underneath the sink, right where they should be. This is a great space, isn't it? And what I like about this is that the salon is right here, and the galley is right here. And if you have guests that are hanging out in the cockpit enjoying a brew while we're sitting in an anchorage, you can open the Dutch door and connect with your guests out there as well, right from this space. It's perfect layout. Now have a look at this. I mean, everything in here is like apartment size, right? Look at the size of this fridge. And it's a good quality fridge too, with an ice maker, fresh water dispenser. And look at this, a full-size freezer. Like you could go away for months with enough food in there to cover it. I mean, this boat's got it all. It's really well laid out for long distance cruising. And keep in mind, like I mentioned to you earlier, you've got 2,000 nautical mile range with this boat at 9 knots. How about this? 2 complete separate units. You've got your dryer up above and a big washer down below. Now, if all that storage I just showed you back there wasn't enough, what do we have here? More storage. And look how deep that goes. It goes, this one here goes in probably 2 feet. This one about 1.5 feet. And again, if that's not enough, storage in all of these drawers as well. And notice how the drawers lock in place. Okay? They lock in place without having to have those notches that you have to stick your fingers in and break them, and yeah. And another one here, and in here, operation manuals. The drawers full of operation manuals for every system on the boat. Isn't that cool? Right across from here, now this is really well thought out, the electrical management system. You have numerous selections of voltages here for the right distribution to the right area. For example, we've got your 32 volt distribution right here with all of your panels that would run your 32 volt stations. And then we've got 120 volt here, and we've also got 240 volt here, and the 240 volt would be for your washer, dryer, water heater, and so on. Really well thought out. So here we are in the Pilothouse, and it's a very comfortable space. But before we go all the way in and go through all the equipment here, I wanted to point this out to you. Like, 4 cabins isn't enough. Well, this really could become another cabin, because you've got a captain's berth right here, and that's a double mattress. So you can take one of those mattresses off and lay it here, And now you've got a fifth cabin here in the Pilothouse. And what a view, eh? This would be the best cabin, I think, in the boat. This is so perfect. Let me go forward here. We've already talked about this three-dogged door. Very heavy, seaworthy door, that's for sure. And of course, you've got these great windows with the screens that slide up. So plenty of ventilation in here. You've got another opening window on that side. So you get a wonderful cross breeze here for any of those hot days. So right here, we've got a corner settee, which is a very comfortable space. Great place for your guests to sit and chat with each other and with the skipper, who's going to be here at the helm. Nice table, too, at a very comfortable level. Easy to get in and out, and room for four adults there. Now, right here, combining this highly functional equipment with some of the newer equipment, you've got everything that you need here to command this vessel safely and with total confidence. Let's start here on the port side and go over some of the equipment that we have here. This is one of 3 radios. I think it's pretty smart, actually. There's not one, but 2 radars on this boat. There's a medium range and a long range. This is your long range radar. All right, here, this is a 48-mile radar. And then, just for redundancy, you've got a backup radar right here. Right here in the middle, you've got a Furno Navigator that works with your electronic compass, and this all ties together in with your Nobletech GPS chart plotter, which of course does everything that you need. I love this Wagner compass. Look at this, will you? Man, you know, this is so classic. Such a well, I'm just, you know, I like things like this. I just really do. Everything that you need is right there. That's the way they did it in the old days, but it just takes us back to that very romantic time of boating, doesn't it? Right here, you've got your analog gauges. You've got your voltmeter here to let you know how your batteries are doing. Then you've got your tachometer here in the center. Boat cruises comfortably 9 knots at about 1500 RPM. So it's a slow-turning diesel, but that's all you need. It's got a big 54-inch prop on the back with a big rudder in behind that. And that big rudder is about 5 feet high, maybe 2.5 feet wide. So I watched them when we were backing out here. That rudder really, it's effective. It makes this boat go where you want it to go. Speaking of that, you've got your destroyer wheel here. But in addition to that, for minor adjustments, you've also got this toggle switch to steer with here as well. That's really nice. You've got your engine controls right here, your throttle, as well as your forward and reverse, and rudder angle indicator. And of course, your autopilot right here. Here are your controls for those spotlights right here. Manual, but they work really well. Of course, we've got your stereo speakers, and you've got a sub panel here. Everything on this boat is so classic. So, yeah, this is where it all started, you know. Everything that you want in a boat to comfortably and safely cruise the Pacific Northwest, that's what you've got in the Nitinat Chief. Now there's a couple of ways to get up to the bridge deck. This is one way, and the other way is from the Pilothouse, but follow me, let's go up this way. Now, well, you look at this deck. Oh my goodness, it's huge. Remember, this is a 72-foot boat with a 16-foot beam. This is just huge. And just an FYI, the camera is only halfway up the deck. And look at all this, this is just the back end of the deck. Huge, just huge. Let me point out a few things that that the boat has here. Very easy to handle this boat. I mean, if you wanted to back the boat out from this location, this is handy, having an aft helm station like this. You've got throttles and rudder angle indicator and forward and reverse gear. Very handy to have. This is really skookum. My goodness, it's this is an aft line, and look at this. That's got to be an 1.5 inch braid there. Yeah, it's a 3 braid line that you could run that out and tie it to a tree or whatever to stop you from swinging. This in conjunction with that 250-pound anchor with 400 feet of road and 100 feet of chain, wow, you're not going anywhere, even with the boat this size. Right here, we've got an 8-person life raft. Now right here is a 20,000-pound davit, 20,000-pound hydraulic davit, my goodness, with a remote control. Remote controls down in the pilot house. And look at all that space. If you move that picnic table out, you could put a 16-foot dinghy up here. Wow, isn't that amazing? And still have all that space forward by the upper helm. Beautiful, isn't it? All right, here is a table. It's got an aluminum frame, so it's designed to withstand the weather. But the frame is light and very, very strong, and yet still able to move the table to anywhere on the deck that you want it to be. Now up here, notice that the boat is dry stacked. A lot of distinct advantages of having a dry stack. So you don't have to worry about heat exchangers, and it's just kind of cool. I mean, it's like a little ship, isn't it? I love this boat. Now this is the second half of this huge deck. This massive. Could you imagine the fun that you could have up here? The parties that you could throw. This is it's a bit unusual. You don't often see a firefighting station on a boat this size, but here it is. You got a Honda pump in there and a couple of lengths of fire hose and extra gas, just in case it's a big fire. Up here is the upper helm. Again, rigid, very solid construction all around above the bridge deck. This boat is huge, just huge. This is got everything that you need here. You've got your bronze wheel, you've got your controls forward and aft, and throttle in here as well. And you've got jog steering here for just minor adjustments, or if you need to make major adjustments, you've got your wheel here. And of course, rudder angle indicator, which is very helpful. In fact, these angle indicators are at all 3 helm stations. Not 1, but 2 searchlights, 1 port, 1 starboard. Of course, remote control to down below. And I love this. Again, rigid hardtop, ideal for the Pacific Northwest. You could enclose this space if you wanted to, but why would you want to? You've got a lower helm station in the pilot house. Everything about this boat is serious. And when I say serious, I mean seriously well built. Take this aluminum superstructure, for example. He wanted something that was strong but light. And why light? Because we're quite high here off of the water. And you want it light up here so that you don't get a lot of rolling. You've got a low center of gravity. He's thought of everything. So you want strength and stability, and that's what he gets when he put this aluminum superstructure on the deck. Let's go down below. Let's see what's going on there. So you got stairs on both sides of the pilot house, which is pretty nice. You also have your side gate here. Sometimes you'll find yourself up against a big commercial dock. This is ideal way to get onto that dock. So moving forward to the bow, Talk about a serious boat. This is quite amazing. Just have a look at this. Look at this hardware. Oh my goodness! I mean, you need this kind of hardware for a 100-ton boat, but it's got the amenities that you're looking for as well. Nice place to sit when you're underway. Just enjoy the view as you're underway. But you know what? This is not just a great place to sit. It's also 450 liters of gasoline with a gravity-fed hose over here to feed your tender. Just drop the hose over the side, fill your tank on your tender, turn it on up here, and away you go. They've thought of everything. Now, this is important. This is so West Coast. There's a reason that these windows are slanted backwards, and it has a brow over it here like so. Not only do they look cool, but this brow keeps a lot of the sun out of the skipper's eyes, and this reverse slant on the windows helps to keep frost off. So that just gives you an opportunity to extend your fall and winter boating. Isn't that nice? A hatch to let some light down into your master cabin area. And look at this. Look at this windlass, will you? This is a hydraulic windlass that has 400 feet of galvanized cable and 100 feet of chain. And I believe that anchor is a 200-pound anchor. Wow, very skookum. Look at these safety rails. I mean, they're not going anywhere. This boat was very seriously built for protection. Remember what he said, he stripped it right down to the deck and redesigned everything. That's it for the bow. Let's go into the pilothouse. This door takes you down to the engine space, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But right now I want to show you the main guest cabin. Just a reminder that there are 4 cabins on this boat. This is a special guest cabin, and I'll show you the reason why. If you have a look at this, hey, isn't this a wonderful guest cabin? Look at these big windows here, and they've got blinds, of course, to give you the privacy that you're looking for. And I love these combination windows and screens to keep all the bugs out, but still let the fresh air in. This is a great space here. We've got a double bunk down below and a single bunk up above. And right down below here, you got, again, loads of storage. You've got 3 big drawers. And each of those drawers, of course, have that locking mechanism so that they don't bounce around. It's well appointed. Your own TV and storage above for the kids. This will be a great kids cabin too, of course. And then in here, we've got a full hang-up locker. Pretty nice, eh? Wasn't that a wonderful space? Hey, it's a good place for mom and dad and one of the kids up in the upper bunk, or just put all the kids in there. Why not? I forgot to mention that each of the cabins, there's 4 cabins in this boat, each of the cabins have their own sink, and the sink is perfectly located in behind the door and out of the way. So let's go down below. There's more heads and beds down there. So come on with me. So we got another guest cabin right here on the starboard side, over under bunk, place to hang up your clothes. And once again, you've got a sink, a storage below the sink, 2 drawers here to store clothes as well. Once again, have a look at these port lights. Just beautiful, very authentic, very heritage boat building. Right across on the port side, got another over under bunk, a little bit bigger cabin. We've got storage below with 2 drawers here as well. Sink in behind the door. And then forward, you have your master cabin. Just look at this, eh? Isn't this special? And big double bed with storage underneath as well. Look at these original stiffeners. Stiffener planking, part of the original hull of this boat. Just Just spectacular. I just love this classic look. A lot of counter space here. Down below you can see the cabinets. These are new. You've got drawers down below and more storage in this space here. And this has a safe in it as well. So if you were traveling and you wanted to keep your wallet and your jewelry and whatnot in there, you could do that and feel that it's secure. More storage under the desk here. This could also act as a makeup area as well. Just above that, right next to the TV, you've got more storage. And look at the accent that they've done to these cross beams here, which support the forward deck in the bow of this boat. Right across, you've got your head with a vacuum flush toilet, another one of these really cool Mexican sinks, and full stand-up shower. Very, very nice. Beautiful accents in here. And these two doors right at the headboard, open those up, you'll see that there's yet more storage in there. So this boat certainly is not lacking for storage, that's for sure. So this is the day head. Full stand-up shower. Good location for it because it's right next to the galley in the salon and right across from one of the guest cabins. This door takes you down to the engine space. Okay, so here's your power plant. Here's your primary. It's a Deutz engine, 600 horsepower, turbocharged and aftercooled. The engine has been maintained by local diesel mechanic, White's Diesel, who has been able to access part for this engine whenever they're needed. Highly reliable and slow turning engine, 1500 RPM, gets you up to cruising speed. And as you can see, it's been well looked after, very well looked after. Now, on both sides here, you see your fuel tanks. So you've got 800-gallon fuel tanks on each side and another 600-gallon fuel tank right here. Notice that all of the fuel tanks have these inspection plates, which is a really, really good feature. Yanmar generator producing 8 kilowatts of power. Got a full walk around on both sides. It's a wonderful, wonderful feature having this much room dedicated to the engine space. The owner of this boat has had the boat for 20 years and he's meticulously maintained it. He owned a lumber company, so he understands big equipment and big machinery and the importance of maintaining your machinery. On our trip out, I noticed the current owner making notes in his log. So all of that comes with the boat, as well as all of the operation manuals for every system on the boat. It's been well cared for. Didn't I tell you? Isn't this a remarkable boat? Oh my goodness, it's got so much character and so strong, so wonderfully laid out, ideal for long distance cruising, for entertaining, or just for hanging out on. This boat will give you the confidence that you can go anywhere, built on that seagoing tug hull, with all the comforts that you have on the superstructure, and with a range of 2,000 nautical miles. Wow. And this boat can be yours. All you need to do is give us a call. You'll be very glad you did.